Hello there.
So about a month ago, Adam Wingard came out and did a pretty insane interview with Empire magazine, covering some elements from Godzilla x Kong, and in that interview he said that the movie was going to have a really interesting and really cool buddy cop dynamic. Well, in this video, we are going to break down something that I really wanted to get into that I haven't touched on in any recent videos, and that is a quote where he apparently says we're going to see many different versions of Godzilla. We're going to break it down, dissect it in this video. If you guys enjoy my MonsterVerse content, consider subscribing, and let's get into it.
The Atomic Fair.
Okay, so as far as we know in Godzilla x Kong, there's really only going to be like two forms of Godzilla in the movie. We're going to have Godzilla's basically the form that he has had since 2019. And it's kind of a pretty iconic Godzilla design at this point, the MonsterVerse Godzilla design, especially compared to the 2014 design. I thought Godzilla 2019 and onward looked really, really good. Probably my favorite Godzilla design next to the Godzilla -1 design. Anyways, yeah, so as far as we know, there's only going to be two different versions of Godzilla, but it seems like there could be more if we kind of read into this quote from Adam Wingard in the Empire magazine coverage that they did on the movie. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and read the whole entire quote that he kind of does, talking about the buddy cop dynamic and then talking about the elements of the movie where it's just kind of a crazy action-packed MonsterVerse film. Okay, it says there's a bit of a truce. Godzilla's in control of the surface world and Kong is down in the hollow earth. It wasn't okay, give me a call when something goes wrong, Kong, and I, Godzilla, will rush to the rescue. He also says that the buddy cop dysfunctional relationship dynamic is probably the best one to describe Godzilla and Kong. My influences are always embedded with the 80s, and the 80s were prime for that storyline. There's a lot of misunderstanding. The way the monsters communicate isn't straightforward. Adam Wingard also says here that there's a personal journey that Kong's going through. Says this is his version of a training routine. This is also what he says about Godzilla in the pink version of Godzilla. He says this is his version of a training routine. I'm really big into the Shaw Brothers martial arts. Those films are always about here's a big threat and you have to do all these things to pump yourself up so that you can take on that threat. But this is the specific part of the quote that has been kind of like floating around in my head here for a few weeks, and I've kind of been theorizing on what it could have possibly meant, or if I'm just reading too far into it. It says you're gonna see lots of different versions of Godzilla in this movie.
What? What the fuck?
Yeah, so that really makes me wonder if we're going to see more than just two versions of Godzilla. Now, there's a chance that we flash back to the 2014 Godzilla movie, but even more than that, I'm thinking that there's a chance that we flash back. Now, if we did flash back to the Ancient Titan War, there's definitely a good probability that we could see different versions of Godzilla or different versions of Godzilla's species. Another probability is if we find out in the movie, in fact, that some of the rumors were true, and some of those rumors were that Shimo is actually the first version of the species that ended up evolving into Godzilla. Now, obviously, considering that Shimo is the first Titan, that seems like it could probably be true, but considering those things, I guess that could be taken into account, like Shimo could be considered another form of Godzilla. But either way, saying that we're going to see many different forms of Godzilla in this movie is either false advertising, because if we only have two different forms of Godzilla, then really that is a misrepresentation of what's going on in the movie. It's either false advertising or there's something that we haven't seen from the movie, and I think having a flashback sequence that shows an army of Godzillas or an army of Godzilla species, or finding out that Shimo is one of the first versions of Godzilla's species would make perfect sense. But this is something I wanted to touch base on my YouTube channel because, to be honest, I think it's something that a lot of kaiju fans have overlooked. I haven't really seen it on any of the other channels that I watch. I think it's something to keep an eye out for in the movie. I think there's still some Easter eggs and surprises that even with all the leaks and everything that we have seen about this movie, there could still be some Easter eggs and surprises that could pop up in this film. So anyways, comment down below, let me know what you guys think about the potential of having different forms of Godzilla pop up in Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. And for this video, guys, that is all I got. So until the next one, be safe and stay well. Bye-bye.